Welcome to my new weekly series where we evaluate women's fanwear, the good, bad, and the ugly. And unfortunately, there's a lot of ugly. I just posted an OOTD game day for the Buffalo Bills. I actually found some pretty cute things. You're not going to hear me bitching the whole time. You'll actually see some things that you might want to wear. Sometimes you just don't want to wear the literal colors of your favorite team, and in this case, that's red and royal blue. Something new and different, like a rose gold on an ivory cap. I just think this is kind of nice to not always have to wear the screaming collegiate colors. This is by Brand 47, probably my favorite brand for fanwear. You look at my hat collection, it's basically all this brand. They have all of the teams, so if you like this, I'm sure they probably do it in your team. It should be noted that I'm wearing a Brand 47 t-shirt. I love the feeling of this. I like the graphic. A lot of their stuff has kind of a vintage feel, which I love. Up here we have the Nike Vintage Bills sweatshirt. Again, it's a little bit more muted. It's not as loud. As far as fanwear goes, Nike is hit or miss. Actually, I can say that for most brands. What's happening here? Love that Erin Andrews has her own sports line. I'm assuming she doesn't check every single style. I don't know how this passed. In theory, I like what we're trying to do here. This could be super flattering if it was done right, but there's too much fabrication, especially like the knotting. It's just too much. I know we're trying to be cute and different with the logo, but I don't know about this back shoulder. Like, what are all of these things? Unfortunately, my second item is also from Erin Andrews. I don't understand why we're cutting out the words. It doesn't even look like it's sewn properly. How about just put Bills football and you can leave the buffalo that's getting chopped off. I'm also not a fan of a lot of color blocking. There's a little bit too rah blue-red here, and the taping, not a fan. Now, this is a good time for me to do a disclaimer of wear whatever makes you happy. This is just my opinion. You might love some of these things, and that's awesome. I'm gonna show you things that I like. You may or may not like them, but I think it's fun to evaluate, and you may come across some things that I show you that you may not have seen. Up above, we have another Brand 47 hat. I love a crisp white hat. It makes like the logo pop. I think it goes perfectly with this Bills football white t-shirt. This is for that girl who really wants to show off the team colors, but in a very tasteful way. I love these red and white Adidas. And another win with the Nike Bills sweatshirt. At $75 though, it is a little pricey. If you go on Etsy though, you can find so many cool different things, and you're supporting local. But I have found with Etsy, the sizing can be a little tricky because they use mostly unisex sizing. Actually, that can be true for any brand. One of my biggest complaints is the silhouettes that are made for women. They're boxy, or they're like too scoop neck. They're either oversized or undersized. The crops are really weird. They're either too short or too long. And then a lot of times you have to go to the men's section to find any of the good graphics. Did you know that Dooney and Burke made NFL licensed products? I did not. I remember Dooney and Burke in high school. I don't know if it's still popular. I don't know. But if you wanted a more upscale look in your handbag, look no further. I can do a whole separate rant on how awful the feeling of jerseys are. And I get that it's the official replica jersey, but they really need to make like a replica that is still kind of jersey, but has just a nicer feeling. This is the Athleisure OOTD, and so I have my favorite joggers. These can be found at Nordstrom. They are Nordstrom's private label called Zella. There's a link in my bio for all of the styles. And I shouldn't just say that these are my favorite, because the Viore joggers are my absolute to die for favorite. I also do a budget-friendly OOTD, and these are all products that can be found on Amazon, because sometimes just ordering from Amazon is much easier and typically can be cheaper. I didn't want to make this too long, so stay tuned for next week. And let me know in the comments what other teams I should be doing.